So, we're in a very different environment today. So here I have the HP, and yes, I'm in my office rather than in the basement with all the other computers. And I just got back from my grandparents. I had just finished unpacking after watching today's episode of Jeopardy! And I have determined that this HP machine is a little too new to be in our nostalgia family. So, what I have decided is I'm actually moving it here to my office. And I'm going to, for the first time ever, actually set up a weather radio stream. And that's what we're going to do in today's episode. But before we can do any of that, however, we need to clear the password. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if HP set up a recovery manager. And again, as I had said in the first episode, we do not know the password. There's like no password that I know of. So what we're going to do is in this episode, we're going to use a password reset disk to reset the password on here and then see if we can restore it via the HP Recovery Manager if it has it. If not, then I'll do something else. Now, I think that actually reminds me of something, because when we were taking a look at that HP desktop computer, I had seen that when we went into the recovery settings, like when we held down Shift and clicked Restart, it did not have an HP Recovery Manager option. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe the hard drive and reset that system back to the way it was from the factory. But that's if I can see an HP recovery option. Otherwise, it may have been replaced with a standard installation. If that's so, then I'll see if I can download the recovery image from HP and then restore it to the way it was when it left the factory, or I'll just use the reset this PC option to reset the system. But before we do that, however, I'm going to need to reset the password. Now, I actually am going to try a little trick that we will use. So let's try it and see if we get anywhere with this one. So we're going to hit Shift F10, which will bring up a command prompt. So it has to be C:, then the directory. There we go. There are all of the files on the drive. All right, so then we have to CD Windows System32. We're going to copy cmd.exe, thc.exe. We're going to yes to overwrite it. Okay. And now we will restart. So that replaces the sticky keys. So now that we have the sticky keys, now we can use the command prompt to reset this to reset the thing. So we're going to go to net user. Now we have all the users. So we're going to type net user. And I'm just going to change a random account. So I'm going to use the Hideki account. And then what we're going to change next is the password. So I'm just going to type in this. Okay, so that just replaced the password. So now, if we type it in, there we are. And now, this is where the fun part begins. Let's see if there actually is a recovery. It's called, we have Audio Switch, HP Smart, System Event Utility. Let's see if any of these will be able to help us. So it looks like this was an administrator. Thing. So let's see what programs were on the system the last time this was used. So we have Backup and Sync. What's this Backup and Sync from Google? And of course they put Chrome on there. It's an older release. It's version 109. HP audio switch. But let's just look around. It's the splash top remote support. And then there's just a bunch of stuff. So I suppose they were using Chrome and Office together. Okay, so now that we're in, let's see if we can... Okay, so this is the information. And then this just takes us to the advanced page. Let's see. HP PC hardware diagnostics. Let's see what happens. Cannot run without administrator privileges. Okay, I guess it cannot run. Man, look at all this stuff they got. Network, personal folder, documents. Okay, so now we know that HP does not have a recovery manager specifically for this computer. So, what we're going to do instead is we're just going to go ahead and reset the whole thing. We can do it from Windows. I mean, I did try it on the Dell, so it should work. So we're going to go ahead and reset. We're going to remove absolutely everything because I do not want any of the organization's files remaining after this process. So that says please wait. And then we're going to get to another screen, or it'll just start right away. Okay, so now what this will do, so there's a cloud download and then there's a local reinstall. We're going to try the local reinstall because I don't want to sit and wait hours and hours. Because sometimes it could take hours depending on the speed of your internet connection. We're going to keep it, so we're just going to remove the files. Now this is important because this has got to stay plugged in the whole time, because if this thing unexpectedly shuts off during this process, then things are not going to go well. When we do this reset, I don't know if this is going to change its status on the domain, but what I do hope is that this will clear it'll deregister it from the domain and set it up as a brand new device. So we're going to see what happens here. We're going to reset, and now it begins. Now this might take a while, depending on how much stuff is on the system. So depending on how much stuff is on the system, so what I think this will do is it'll only take off the newly added apps on the device. Like for example, Google Chrome or that remote desktop support or something, whatever that is, it's going to clear all of that off the system, and then we'll set it up as a brand new device. So now it is back to the way it was when it came from the factory. Well, not necessarily from the factory, but it'll be close. But at least the good thing is that it cleared all of the organization's stuff off of the device. So now this will be ready for my use. And it should keep all of the HP items that was previously on the device. And it's the Cortana
Hi there.
setup.
I'm Cortana, and I'm here to help.
We're glad you're here to
sign
help.
in here, a touch of Wi-Fi there, and we'll have your PC ready for all you plan to do.
Whatever we
Use your
plan to
voice
do
or
with
the
this.
keyboard along the way, and if you'd like me to stay quiet.
Definitely, because the Cortana setup isn't even used anymore on Windows 11, so we might as well.
Your region is set to the United States.
Of course, it's US.
Your keyboard is set to US.
Of course,
Do you
that's
also
right.
type with another keyboard layout?
Nope, we're gonna skip that.
Now let's get you connected to a network.
Yes,
That way you
because
can get updates. Now type your credentials.
that's right. So we'll type those in.
Mission accomplished. You're all linked up.
Okay.
Now we have some important setup to do.
Yep. So now it's gonna look for. I'm sure there are plenty more feature updates after the last one. That I'm pretty sure that one that was on there was an older version. So this is an older one, I can tell, because nowadays the Cortana
Sit
setup
back and
is
relax
silenced.
while we work our magic.
Yeah, because the Cortana setup is usually just it's the same setup except Cortana is no longer
Please don't
present.
turn off your device.
So that means it is essentially, so it is installing updates. So I mean, it did find a bunch of them during this procedure, and then once this is done, then we should be ready to go with what's
Okay,
next.
we got through this part of setup.
Well, not necessarily, because we're still on this page here. But after it finds updates,
Now let's see what's new from Windows.
I'm sure it's going to come up with Windows
The newest
11.
Windows feature update is ready for you to download and install. Whenever you're ready, say get it and we'll download it in the background while you continue setting up.
Watch it be Windows 11. Okay, well, let's get that
Next
feature
up,
update.
the legal stuff. In short, you'll need to...
Yeah, let's silence here. June 2018, so this must be an older version, so it is going to install the newest feature update. So that is the license agreement from Microsoft, and this is the agreement from HP. Of course, in order to continue, we have to accept both agreements. It doesn't give the option to decline, which is interesting. And now this is where it asks for a Microsoft account. I am actually going to use that new account that I actually decided to reopen that other account that was accidentally created. So I'm actually going to use that for this. And yes, this is all the telemetry and everything. I'll go ahead and let Cortana
Voice
talk.
mode on.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and let Cortana talk. No, I'm not going to use Cortana on this device. No, I'm just going to say no to all of this. Except for location and find my device.
Based on the activities you choose here, you will get a personalized experience as you set up your device.
And this does actually carry over into Windows 11, so this is used for entertainment purposes, so I'll use it for that.
Windows can save your spot in apps, files, and websites. See?
No, that feature doesn't even work
Work
anymore.
some magic so you can use your Android phone from
This
your PC,
doesn't even work.
make calls, send text messages, use your mobile apps, and more.
Yeah, it doesn't even, that doesn't even work anymore on Windows 10. And I don't even have an Android phone, so that feature won't
Voice
work
mode
either.
on.
So that feature won't even work either. And,
Your PC comes with a free 1-month trial of Microsoft 365 Family. Should we get it ready for you to use?
no, I don't even plan on using Office on this machine. Because this
Hey,
isn't
look,
even...
that's me, Cortana.
No.
Almost done now. We just need to get a few more things polished up for you, and Windows will be all yours. Looking forward to helping out.
How about no? Because nobody uses Cortana anymore. I mean, think about it. Windows 11. Nobody even uses Cortana, and they still include it on Windows 11. I'm just absolutely surprised. But anyway, that feature update that's running, that is going to continue to download and install in the background. And then once that is done, then it'll tell me that it's ready to restart to complete the feature update. If the feature update is actually Windows 11, that's going to save me a lot of time. That's going to save me a lot of time if that actually is Windows 11. But who knows? Well, we're going to find out here very soon once that's all done. My gosh, it's been a long time since I've last interacted with a Windows 10 out-of-box experience. Well, on an actual machine, that is. The last time I actually worked with an out-of-box experience was that Dell Latitude laptop from when I started remote back in 2020. And there we are. here it is. This is the actual factory installation from HP. And yep, this is the factory installation. That is absolutely amazing. So I see in that previous installation, I got rid of a lot of the bloatware, but so what's this HP Jump Starts? I've never seen this before. What is this? Sure. Go ahead. Go ahead, HP. You can go ahead and send all this stuff. You can go ahead and send this stuff to me, and well, it's done. 25 gigabytes of Dropbox. No, I'm not using Dropbox. I have Google Drive. But there we go. This is what the machine is. It's the 15EF1. I don't know if this thing still comes with Pro. I don't know if this thing still has Pro or this should be activated. It is activated, and I think it did have Pro before, and it installed Windows 10 Home. Well, okay, well, let's go back here and actually finish this stuff up. Let's just get this taken care of. Again, I'm not going to use activity history, and again, I'm not going to use the Android phone. Kind of similarly to how Apple does after you set up an Apple device. I'm not going to activate the cloud storage because I don't even plan on using it. Last checked 154,332 days ago, and it's up to date. That does not make any sense. Yeah, there are a lot of updates this thing has to do. So let's get that done. Meanwhile, the next feature update is ready. Ooh, it's the latest one. There's all the drivers it's got to do. If we go into the About page, this is the HP E15. It has Windows 10 2004. So that's the version it has. So yeah, it is really, really out of date. And this definitely is the factory installation of Windows 10. I thought, why don't I just finally make a use out of that Microsoft account that I was accidentally forced into creating. So now these computers are on the main account and then the accidental account. So it's installing all the drivers and everything. I wonder if this thing can run Windows 11, but, well, let's actually find out if this thing can run Windows 11, but it's got to install the drivers first, and of course it comes with the brand new Microsoft Edge. Choose your welcome prize for searching in Edge for the first 5 days. You choose a welcome prize. You can actually get rewarded for searching in this browser. This is great. To qualify, you must complete a Bing search on Edge for 5 days within 14 days of joining Microsoft. So you have to complete a Bing search every day for 5 days? Is that how this is done or something? No, I'm not joining Microsoft Rewards. As much as I would like to be rewarded, I am not going to do so. Anyway, we need the PC Health Check app so we can make sure that this thing can run Windows 11. Okay, so now we're going to see if this thing... Okay, so now I intend on upgrading this computer to Windows 11. But before that can happen, though, we need to install the Health Check app, which will be required throughout the upgrade process. So I want to make sure that the thing can run Windows 11. So this is, oh wow, this is an only 3-year-old machine. So this thing did come out in 2020. So yeah, this is a little newer, but very nice. And we do need to run Windows Update. I'm assuming it can run, and it can run Windows 11. That's great. So once this is all done and it gives me Windows 11, I actually will be more than happy to upgrade. Now, I actually had to do this with some of the other computers, but we're actually going to use the Windows 11 Installation Assistant. We're going to use that to install Windows 11. Oh yeah, that's right. This is not a touchscreen. So it does meet the requirements, and I don't care about that. Okay, so now we'll just go ahead and lower that down, and it will. So I don't care if Windows 10 is going to do any updates, because we are going to be upgrading this computer to Windows 11. So, in the meantime, I can go ahead and start the installation of some of the other programs that I intend on using with this computer. And then after we do the upgrade, we will be all done. So now I intend to set up a secondary Playfield TV stream. So what I am going to do is I'm going to install OBS. And then on this flash drive here, oh, actually it wants me to restart to finish devices. So I still got to restart for the devices. So let's abort the upgrade, but we'll get back to it later. So that's what we'll do. Okay. So this flash drive here contains a backup of the scenes from the desktop machine. And once we have it installed, we're going to transfer those credentials over to this particular computer. But I think I forgot something else along with it. Let's go ahead and get this installed. Yes, go with all of the defaults. It can be a hard knock life for a laptop. Remember how you always turn down the extended warranty? This isn't that. HP Support Assistant. Reminds me of that Suzy thing that South Texas made. The start button does work. However, yeah, it's still installing drivers, but as soon as it's done, then we will be in business. So. I'm not going to let the Windows 11 installation continue in the background. I just need to install all of the... I'll just restart for the drivers, and then... Yeah, so all I'll do is I'll just restart for the drivers, and then install Windows 11. So we're going to skip the Windows 10 feature update, because we are going to be performing a feature update of its own, because we're going to be upgrading to Windows 11. So this is the optimization. We're going to leave it all as it is. I'm going to be hooking up. I'm going to do all of that later, because I do have a profile that I want to import. So let's import it. Yes. And I'm going to locate it on the drive. Let's see what happens. Import. Because I said scenes. Alright, there we go. Then we can just click that. And there we are. Everything has been imported onto the system. This is everything as I left it. However, the fonts are not the default ones, but that's okay, because I'm going to trim this down for other uses. So I'm just going to delete the main thing. This is an imported profile, so it shouldn't affect whatever's going on the other system. So, well, I know all the other files are missing, but there is only one thing I'm going to use it for. So I'm just going to go ahead and clear all of these scenes. However, the entirety of the soundtrack is missing. So I will need to go back and get those. Meanwhile, I'll actually go ahead and, well, not really, but... Okay, so now that we know that that's nearly good, we can't restart from here. We'll have to go to the Windows Update icon and click Restart. Well, I just moved it off the charger, and look what it's doing now. It's an HP BIOS update. Because personally, I don't think I've ever seen this screen before. So I'm too familiar with Dell, but the way HP actually does this, it's actually pretty amazing how they're actually able to accomplish such of a process. But this is completely different from Dell, because when you're updating the BIOS on a Dell computer, you know, HP is actually kind enough to give the option to actually do the update now, or you can postpone it to the next boot. And then you could do the update on the next boot. Unlike Dell, when you run the BIOS update initially, it just goes ahead and does it. It does not ask for, do you want to update now? If you don't respond within 15 seconds, it'll automatically do the update. Yep, I think the BIOS update finished. So... and yes, it is done. The BIOS update has completed. And now we're booting back into Windows 10. Ready to continue with the program installation and upgrade. Now I'm sure this thing has a solid state drive in it, but on that one computer I've seen, there was one video from Theo Joe I saw a while ago, and it was actually on what would happen if you unexpectedly, like if you shut down the computer during a BIOS update. He actually demonstrated it on an HP computer. It wasn't this one specifically, but it was like an HP Stream that had a BIOS very similar to this. And the battery was like so depleted, he actually pulled the plug, and then he tried to turn it on, and there was nothing on the screen. But I really like the way this looks. I'm pretty sure, not sure if this is the kind of computer Savage Gamer has, but if not, then it's close enough. Okay, so now that all the drivers are installed, now we're going to be installing Windows 11 onto this machine, because it does actually run. It can actually run Windows 11. So, we're going to let that run in the background. This has a 256 gigabyte solid state drive, which I am. So it looks like it named the partition Windows. This is indeed a 256 gig drive. It's only got 191 gigs. But let's take a look at device. Well, let's look at create and format hard disk partitions and see how the drive was partitioned by the recovery. So again, we just have the C drive. So this is the EFI partition for the BIOS. This is the actual hard drive itself. And then this is the recovery environment. So that's all it comes with, partitioned. So everything on here is connected to the OneDrive, but there is supposed to be a panel on the back. There is supposed to be a panel on the side, but it does not appear. So I'm going to let the Windows 11 upgrade continue in the background, and then once it is all done, we're going to clear Windows 10 off the systems. But it says check your warranty status. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and send the warranty data anyway. Yeah, of course it expired, so. All right. It is ready to upgrade to Windows 11. Now I will be resetting the machine once again after the upgrade is complete. So after the upgrade completes, I'm going to be wiping Windows 10 off of the system, off the hard drive, and then I'm going to reset the system once more to not only update those Microsoft credentials to what I just updated, but also to be sure that I don't have the ability to go back to Windows 10 because the version of Windows 10 that came with this computer is out of service, and don't know if I'll be even able. And I'm sure Microsoft would probably force this machine to Windows 11 in the first place anyway. All right, and now here we go with the upgrade. Alright, that is it. The upgrade is finished. It still is not updated. Oh, there it is. It just updated the credentials, but it has not updated the profile yet. That's still the reason why I'm going to be wiping the machine once this is done. Alright, so now it's going to do some final preparations, and then we have Windows 11. Almost there, and there's the desktop. And here it is, Windows 11 in all of its glory. Of course, it comes bundled with all of the bloatware. So from now, we have 10 days to decide whether or not we want to go back to Windows 10. We're going to clear system recovery. We're going to clear the retail demo. We're just basically going to clear absolutely everything. Defender, log files, error reports, direct, and of course, Windows 10. Before we look any further, let's see how much space this has free so far. So far, it's got 164 gigs free, and we're going to have so much space left over after we do this. Yes, I'm absolutely sure. I think it feels really suspicious if we just put this on the screen and this. I think it's better if we just put the two boxes together. Oh yeah. Alright, so there's the warning saying if we go ahead and continue with the deletion process, that means Windows 10 will be gone forever, and we cannot go back. The only way we can go back is if we have the factory recovery media, which we do not have. So we need to be very careful in our decision, because if we go back, if we say yes, we're going to be stuck here. As I had done with the Dell laptop already, I am very confident with Windows 11. I mean, Windows 10 does not have too much time left, and I know Microsoft is getting ready to move everybody over to the new OS. Considering this, if I go back to Windows 10, Microsoft is eventually going to start nagging me back to 11, so there's no point in keeping Windows 10. So, we're going to say yes. And now, one by one, we are going to watch all the Explorer windows disappear off screen. Okay, so now we're seeing Windows BT on all of them. And this is all each of them has. Just has make core and servicing common. And it looks like the clearing has finished. There it is. We're sorry, but you can't go back. No changes were made. If we pull it up again, the files we need to take you back to a previous version of Windows were removed from this PC. Well, the folder is technically still there, but these are the only files that are remaining on the system. But very, very shortly here, we're going to go ahead and clear those files out, and we're going to reset Windows yet again. We're going to once again remove everything, including Windows.old. Again, we're going to do the local reinstall. Remove apps and files and reinstall. Yep, that's what we want to do. We are going to reset the machine once again, and this time we're going to do it from here. We're going to do it from within this menu. We're going to do a local reinstall like we did before. Okay, so here we go again. This is going to remove everything off the system and reinstall Windows. And here we go once again. Okay, and the reset is done. Look at that. I forgot the main security patch, didn't I? Well, yes, the Windows 11 out-of-box experience. We're going to go through that now and set that up. But first, I'm going to tell it no, I'm not going to update until later tonight. Alright, now I'm going to go through the same procedure as before. Yes, this is the United States. The drivers are already installed. Nice. So we can already control the brightness right away. That's great. Alright, we are okay with that layout. We're not going to add a second one. Now, to connect to the internet. Password again. Alright, we are online. And now, we're going to see if there are any updates that need to be done. This reset process did pretty much clear the rest of Windows.old, so Windows 10 is pretty much gone at this point. So there's the license agreement, which has not been updated. I mean, this is for Windows 11, but it was before it was released. And there's the agreement from HP. And of course, now of course it didn't ask me this back on Windows 10. So to make this, I'm just going to name this SPC Stream because I do intend on using this as a streaming device. Okay, and there we go. We got the bolded fonts just like we usually do in Windows 11. But it looks like it has to restart for a system update. Or not really a system update, but it has to restart so it can apply the name. So it has to restart so it applies the name. And then after that, we will continue with the process, which we actually will right now. I mean, this thing is from 2020, so it should go pretty fast through the setup. I mean, it only took like 20 minutes through the initial reset process. Okay, so now here comes the part where we have to sign in with a Microsoft account. Unless people decide to use the back door to get past it, but I am going to be using a Microsoft account with this device. Okay, so this is the restoration backup that was already saved from the previous device. And there's my profile, look at that. Very nice. I'm going to actually clear that backup. We are going to set this up as a brand new device. This should come with all the OEM stuff. We are going to use a pin like we did before on Windows 10. We're going to use the same pin that we used before. Alright. Yes, I am on a live stream with Gabriel Gregson right now. Here's the telemetry. Again, I'm going to keep the... You know what? This time I'm actually going to keep everything up. Alright, and then this is where we customize the device for whatever you decide to use it for. I'm mainly going to use it for entertainment. And I might use it for gaming too, so I'll save it for those. And this is going to be about your phone if you have an Android device. And then if you have an iPhone, you can skip to continue the setup. And then once you're at the desktop, you can go to the Phone Link app and you can use that to set up the linking with your iPhone. So we do have an iPhone. I do have an iPhone, so we're going to skip that process for now. And this is about the month trial of Microsoft 365 Family. We're going to skip that for right. And of course, now it comes with the first month of PC Game Pass for $1. So you can get your first month for $1 on Xbox Game Pass. And then after that month, it is $10. But no, I am not going to join Xbox. Although I actually am planning on using the Xbox One again. Although I don't think it's even going to be compatible with Windows 11. I think it hasn't been updated in a while. Because I haven't even used it in a while either. So it's going to be a while before. I know it's going to be a couple weeks because as far as I know, GSN Split Second only has like 2 weeks left. And then after that, I'll have playing Wheel of Fortune on the Xbox One and the Wii U fill in for the 6:30 time slot. But that's before all the main primetime stuff on ABC and wherever other networks we would be on for the day. But and now we go through the final stages of the setup, and then we will have a fresh new computer. In the meantime, I'm going to go back to the Microsoft account and erase all of the... So I'm going to go ahead and go back into that account, and I'm going to erase that backup. And since it did have the profile, everything should be good to go. So let me just be sure. I could have connected it to the other account, and then we would have had everything carry over, but oh well. I could do that at a later point. But anyway, there we are. We are once again at the desktop on a brand new, fresh installation of Windows 11. And if we look now, the entirety of Windows.old should be gone. 199 gigs free, yep, no traces of Windows.old. So again, this is about, this is just like what we went through earlier with the HP stuff, the setup and everything. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to get all the apps reinstalled because I told it to reset it as a fresh new device. I don't care if anything has gone missing on OBS, because I mean it is still installing drivers. Kernel security check failure. That is wonderful. And then I got a few other things that I need to figure out, but I will take care of those as well. Alright, we're going to go ahead and install it. We're going to install everything on the system, and there we are. Okay, we'll go ahead and finish. So this is like an audio recording mixer, so you can actually stream it somewhere. And then there is another program that I want to install. It's called, I've been familiar with this program for a while. It's called VoiceMod. To download Avast antivirus. That could be good to replace McAfee, because I think it actually might do a lot better, but I do actually prefer putting Kaspersky onto here, but I would be more than happy to do that at a later point. Okay, so now we're going to set it up by first downloading the Icecast package for Windows. This is going to be the Icecast client. So now that we have that all done, I can just go and close these out. And yes, we will install the package. 1991. That is so old, but whatever. Yes, we are going to install all of this stuff. I don't know how this is going to work. So what we need to do is edit this document. So we're just going to open this with, the new notepad just once. So there is a sample file. Is to set the config file to set it up to the appropriate values. So we have source password. Alright, so we seem to be having some improvements so far. So I got it started up. And if necessary, minimize it. So that's what I'm going to do. But if I want this to start with the IceCast server, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up something. So I'm going to go into here. Oh, that's right. I can just move the shortcut over to the desktop and then I won't need it. So I'm going to go ahead and shut the server down for right now. Okay, so there's a server and there's a port. Okay, so audio stereo input. Let's see what happens now if I crank it up. Is it in headphone or line in? I don't know. Okay, well now it's day 2. I have been fighting for hours and hours overnight, trying to get this set up, but here was what I was able to accomplish so far. I have been able to get the programs that I want on this machine installed, including Audacity, Discord, Drive Desktop, the IceCast server, OBS, and basically a lot of the other apps that I usually use. However, there was a problem. This is only a headphone jack. But then here was actually what the problem was. So I plugged the device into my main laptop, and of course, because Dell has the Max Audio Pro program pre-installed, it'll allow me to select line in. However, on here, it does not give me the option at all. Because then if I go here, and I go to more sound settings, it does not give the option for, it doesn't give a line option. Not even on the recording option, it does not give a line. It doesn't show line in anywhere on the system. I've tried hours and hours of seeing if I can install a compatible audio driver, but so far none of them I've tried worked. Even the ones from HP, those have failed. I could try installing the ones from Dell, but it's the same thing. And they aren't even going to work with this HP machine. Well, at least we were able to accomplish some things, like getting the IceCast server up and running. So that's good. However, this is pretty much going to be the only place where I'm going to be able to get this working. Until that point, though, that's pretty much it. At least we got this HP up and running for my use. It's on the latest version of Windows, one that's going to be supported for another decade or so. And yeah, so all that stuff. But at least I am going to have some use out of this, which is good. So it's going to be without any Noah Weather Radio capabilities until we figure the rest of this out. So that's pretty much it for this episode. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.